do. Maybe you'll relate, or you'll just find it weird or funny. Anyway, I'm starting to sound a little bit Welsh. I'm feeling my accent changing the more I stay here. And it always happens to me. I went on holiday once with some people from Liverpool. I came back and I actually started to talk like a bit of a Scouser. You know, I got this Liverpool accent, and it just seemed to come from nowhere. And and my husband, like, he hadn't come with me on this trip, and he said, you know, Mel, what's going on? What are you doing? What are you talking like a Scouser for? I said, what do you mean I'm talking like a Scouser? Do you want chicken for tea or what? You know, and he was like, and it just happened, and I can't help it. And even when I was working in the school, I worked with a lot of different nationalities of people, and sometimes they just take the mickey out of me on reception. They say, here comes Mel now, she'll do a thing. And I'll go, good morning, how are you? And they just used to laugh at me. But the parents loved me. I think I'm a bit like a chameleon. I think it's a bit of a gift, to be honest. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. But the Liverpool one was the funniest. And the irony is, like, I kind of turned into a bit of a Shirley Valentine. I'm having all these lone trips now and stuff. And I do actually have a rock on the beach, you know, that I go and sit on. And if anybody sits on my rock, you know, I get really angry because it's my rock. See, I'm going a bit Welsh, and you know what? I need to sort my head out because, yeah, this could be an actual thing that might need therapy. I don't actually think it's a bad thing, but it is something I have, that I do tend to blend in very naturally with environments and people, and that you have to be careful, really, because you can delude yourself in a situation where you think you're changing to suit the environment, you're changing to suit these people. I think that's how a lot of unhappy relationships come about. You know, the relationship I had with my husband was very organic. We just liked all the same things. We just did all the same stuff together. We had the same sense of humour. Like-minded people are important. And I think you have to be really careful that if you are like me, maybe I am a little bit of a chameleon. Maybe I do, you know, morph myself into situations very easily. Maybe it's a creative thing, I don't know, but I have learned a lesson from it over the years, that, you know, you have to be really careful and try and be your true authentic self and stick to who you are. It's something that has come to mind a little bit very recently in my life. And, you know, I think I don't want to go into details because it's quite personal, but I'm just sort of saying to people out there, warning you, you know, be really careful who you morph yourself into. You know, make sure you're being your true authentic self, because you can delude yourself that you are the person that you are not. The accent thing is a completely different thing. I think it's just me. I think I'm a frustrated actress, maybe, because that's probably why I do this. Maybe I should join an amateur dramatics group, and I think I'd make a good Shirley Valentine, actually. Be really careful who you think you are, because you are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. I have this thing as well. I have this thing at the moment where I'm being very careful about talking about thoughts and what you say and what you do, and I'm being very, very careful about things I say and do, and try and keep the conversation real. And we have this thing, me and a friend of mine, where we we start to talk about things and we say, that's getting a bit EastEnders, you know, 3-dimensional. We don't need to talk about that, you know, that kind of thing, gossipy or whatever. And then we have this term where we say, it's bananas. We say to each other, you know, if we go into that zone, we go bananas, and then we stop talking about it because, as I say, you know, it's not being authentic sometimes when you get pulled into gossip and things that are going on in other people's lives. So, yeah, we have this thing where we just say, that's bananas. Let's change the subject, you know, and we just laugh about it. It's quite funny, really. I just realised why I like sitting on this deck so much, because it's quite high up. I feel in charge.